You guys want to know who's going to win the Alabama-Oklahoma game and actually the CFP? We're going to tell you here in just a second.
You are Locked On Bama, your daily podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back into Locked On Bama, AHSA Radio Network's Luke Robinson. That's me. Alabama internet legend Jimmy Stein. That's him. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. I want to thank all of you for helping making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network in the world. You guys are awesome. We appreciate you. So, yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of things today. We're going to give a lot of predictions. We're going to give our thoughts on what players are going to do what. We'll actually, Jimmy, let's go ahead and just say who was going to win the national championship when all's said and done, too. So we will get to all that. First and foremost, though, if you are going to be going to the game, put it in the comments because I'm going to be there. You can look for me. I would prefer you didn't talk to me. No, I'm just kidding. You can come up to me anytime. You can come up to me anytime.
Don't make eye contact.
Don't make eye contact with me. It really ticks me off. No, I'm kidding. Come up at any time. But also be sure to join that Everydayer Club, lockedonbama.com/everydayerclub. $5 a month, $50 a year. All awesome. Go check it out. Discord.
No ads is big.
No ads.
That's I listen to podcasts and then it's going good and you're so interested and then boom, there's an ad. Sometimes I'm like, oh man.
Right here in the middle of it.
Right, he was about to tell me something cool and now I'm hearing about meaningful beauty.
All right, so let's talk first about the weather.
My wife uses meaningful beauty, by the way.
You say what now?
My wife uses meaningful beauty. That
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's just an ad that I hear, and every now and then I'll look.
I gave you a courtesy laugh. I didn't really need you to explain it.
What struck me, I'm like, well, that's a product we actually use in the household.
Okay. So weather-wise, Here's the thing. You were talking about the weather. I was talking about the weather because it's going to be important. You know, look, the last time we went to Oklahoma, it was frigid and we looked very cold and lethargic. And so I was hoping it was going to be a little warmer, and it is. It's going to be football weather, if you ask me. I mean, legit football weather, not too crazy cold, not too crazy hot, but the thing about it is the wind. And some people have been saying, oh, no, it's going to hurt Alabama because they're the passing team. Well, you and I were talking off air. What two things would wind really hurt? Probably the kicking game and the deep ball game. We don't do either of those well anyway.
Yeah, it's not like that's a huge part of our game plan.
It's like firing Kramer when he doesn't really work there.
It's not like we're going to chunk it, up in the jet stream, 60-yard throws. I mean, that's not generally what we do anyway. It's just not a big part of the game plan. I don't really think Oklahoma does a lot of it either. But I don't think the wind's going to affect the short to intermediate passing game, balls that are kind of thrown, like a dart. And that's what Ty does. It's what Mateer does. And as far as the kicking goes, they have the best kicker in the world in Tate Sandell. I would think this is going to negate some of that advantage, just in the sense that Alabama's not likely to be trying long field goals anyway. Oklahoma would, and maybe Sandell will have some difficulty with the wind. I just see this sort of negating their kicking advantage. I don't think either team will kick it well, but Alabama doesn't usually kick it well. So I don't see the wind as something that's a real big negative for Alabama, but it is going to be windy. I did read that winds between 15 and 25 miles an hour with higher gusts. So that is that's a big thing in the game. But again, I don't see it affecting Alabama's game plan or what Alabama does well.
Hell, it may blow one of those errant kicks in through the goalpost.
It could create a weird.
Wouldn't that be something?
I have to sit in it, Jordan Hare.
Oh my God, that would be so awesome if we line up Connor Talty. It's going the absolute wrong direction, and then a gust of wind, from high above, just pulls it right into the goalpost. That would be right through the goalpost, I should say.
I got to say, that just doesn't sound like an Alabama thing.
No, it sounds like an anti-Alabama thing. It sounds very much like an Auburn thing. There's no doubt about it.
That's something that could go the other way here.
I think it would be very cool. Okay, so, but again, going back to the deep ball thing, I don't know that we've hit one of those all year. Now, the longest pass play, I think, is 75 yards, but that, again, is the actual, double throwback to Ty Simpson for a screen for Ryan Williams.
What comes to mind is a great deep ball that Ty threw to Ryan in the Georgia game that Ryan dropped. That comes to mind. There's also some deep pass plays earlier this season that drew some personal that drew pass interference penalties. So that's a positive result. But there were deep balls. Who knows if they would have been completed? But a few drew some flags. It's not been a big part of Alabama's offense. It's kind of crazy that the offense has been as good as it is. And by I say as good as it is, it's like 8th in the SEC. I mean, it's right about, the midpoint of the league. It's amazing it's that high based on the fact that they've struggled to run the ball and the deep ball's just not there. So what is there, yet you're still 8th in the league? I think it also means that we get, of course, we get this way. We get a little hypercritical about things too. Everything that's not great sucks, and that's just not true.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right now, Jimmy. The longest pass plays of the year. I mean, take out the 75-yarder, which we all know was a screenplay essentially.
Yeah, that was Ryan.
That was Ryan making that happen. It was also a good play call. I mean, it was a good play call. Okay. Germie Bernard's longest reception is 43 yards, and that feels so wrong. I mean, it's just wrong. And then the longest pass play for Lazier Brooks is 53 yards. I'm trying to remember which game that was. Was that Oklahoma?
I wanted to say Missouri, but I'm not sure that's right. It might have been Oklahoma.
I think it was at home.
Right. I think it is Oklahoma. It is crazy. And again, I talked about this early in the year. Let's say if Ty goes pro, and by the way, my expectation is that he's not. If Ty enters the draft, he will set up a pro day thing. And at the pro day thing, you sort of take requests. It's like a DJ. You sort of take requests. The NFL scouts, they're going to be, we need a lot of deep balls in this pro day. That's going to be a question they have about. It's only fair. I don't think they question arm strength, but the timing, the arc, they just they'll want to see him complete deep balls because it's just not there on the tape. That's what they're looking for in these pro days. Don't show me what's all over the tape. Show me what's not on the tape. And with Ty, it's going to be the deep ball. No doubt about it.
And it really is sad because Lazier Brooks is 53 yards, and then Daniel Hill is a 41-yarder. That had to be some sort of screenplay.
Or a wheel route that worked.
Or, yeah, it could have been a wheel route. I wonder how they scored in the SEC title game, how you'd work the statistics of you get it to Germ, he throws it backwards. That may have been what it is.
And it may have been, and that would have been statistically a pass play from the line of scrimmage, even though we all know that's not what happened. But that would be a reception from the line of scrimmage. But boy, what a play. I talked about that with a buddy the other day. If we'd won the game, we'd be talking about that play every day, all week.
Forever.
Like, wasn't that incredible? But because you lost the game, it's going to be forgotten to the sands of time. But that was incredible execution on that one play because that's hard to do. And boy, they look like pros pulling that off.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But so let's talk a little bit about injuries too. Availability reports out. Of course, Chad Miller's back. R. Mason Thomas, who the R is a singular letter for his name. That's one of the coolest things I've ever heard of. And he's back for Oklahoma. But I was talking to, it may have been you yesterday, but I thought it was the SEC squad where I said, I think it was Doug Amos's show yesterday, that, hey, R. Mason Thomas is back, but Oklahoma's not going to be any better defensively because they were awesome against us the first time. This is not a shot at R. Mason Thomas. He's fantastic. Okay. What I'm saying is
that they're awesomer with the R. Awesome.
Are they
get it?
Really? I don't feel like the defense will do any better than they did last time. If last time is what they do, I mean, that's a high ceiling. And so I'm not sure R. Mason Thomas makes them that much better. I bet you R. Mason Thomas and the powers that be over at Oklahoma were like, I can't believe we played defensively this well without R. Mason Thomas, because that's how we'd play with R. Mason Thomas.
It's the biggest concern in the game is they are a sack machine. They're a tackle for loss machine. They're as good as anybody in the country that plays college football. They're as good at any of them as sacking and tackles for loss. And that's a problem for Alabama. I mean, and I think the game will be decided by this. How does Alabama handle the pressure? There will be pressures, blitzes, even non-blitzes, just the pass rush from those ends, Ween and R. Mason Thomas and the interior guys, David Stone. They're just so deep up front with playmakers, and their linebackers are great with the blitzes. How Alabama handles the pressures will determine how the game turns out.
But they can only play 11 guys at a time. And so if the guy who took R. Mason Thomas' place in the first matchup was playing as if he were R. Mason Thomas, then we've sort of seen the best. Now, their best was really good. I'm just saying that if we can cut down on the mistakes, and that is a huge if, I feel a little better about it. But I also feel worse about it, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. Right now, though, I want to tell you about Wayfair. Man, appreciate Wayfair coming back on board. The holidays always show up faster than we expect. Lord knows that is true. And if you're still putting together gifts, last-minute decor, or getting your home ready for guests, Wayfair has you covered, baby. They don't have baby in the live read. I just like saying it occasionally. Whether you need a quick room refresh, new bedding, or those final seasonal touches, Wayfair makes it easy to get what you need fast. Wayfair is truly your one-stop shop for everything home, with decor, furniture, kitchen essentials, and gifts for every style, every budget, all delivered quickly and easily. Their selection is monstrous. Bedding, decor, kitchen gear, kids' rooms updates. I was able to find everything at one place, and I got a bunch of kids, so I got a lot of updating. It's so easy to stop and shop by style. It helps you pick pieces that actually fit your home instead of guessing. That's what's awesome. Get last-minute hosting essentials, gifts for all your loved ones, and decor to celebrate the holidays for way less at Wayfair. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. And then, of course, there is FanDuel. NFL Sundays move fast. One big play and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds, every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift, a receiver gets hot, or a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a turnover. We've seen that happen. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as guys heat up. You can bet the next touchdown scores, drive results, totals, and more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com. Place your NFL bets live all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast. Hey, so can you with FanDuel. Okay, so I actually put this in the Discord today. By the way, do go join the Everydayer Club. This is not a must-do, and I want to reiterate that Jimmy and I are not going to skimp on anything we bring to this podcast, whatever that is. This podcast, the original, is always going to be just the same. We made a pact for that. But there is a Discord now, and there is a ad-free option through the Everydayer Club. It's $5 a month, $50 for the year. It's a big bargain, and you can go to a Discord channel and have a lot of like-minded people that listen to this podcast, and Jimmy and me included. And instead of just, your regular message board where they've got a gazillion folks, this is a little bit more intimate.
It's our community. It's the Locked On Bama community.
It's the Locked On Bama family, Jimmy. We're a family too, just like Brian Kelly has a family. So, I mentioned that I feel a little better and a little worse. I feel a little worse. I sort of Boy, I'm leaning towards picking Oklahoma at the end of this podcast. I'm telling you right now, I'm leaning that direction. I don't want to.
I wouldn't blame anybody that picks Oklahoma, because the last time we saw Alabama, because if the Alabama team that we saw the last time Alabama played, if that's what you're getting Friday night, then Alabama will lose.
Here's my thing, though, and maybe this is my wish casting. I don't think we're going to turn it over 3 times again. Now, it's I feel sort of like when you're at the roulette table and it's hit black 8 times in a row, and you go, well, it ain't going to hit black 9 times in a row. The problem is those other 8 times don't matter anymore. So it can hit black again. And that's what this is like. I mean, in my head, I'm going, there's no way we're turning the ball over 3 times again. We've done that last 2 games. But we certainly can. And Ty Simpson has been more careless with the ball on the back half of the season, whether that's due to some undisclosed injuries or not, notwithstanding. He has been more careless with the ball. And Oklahoma plays a very physical style of defense. And I know there's some Alabama fans that say that pick 6 should have been a penalty on somebody for a hold or a pass interference or whatever. But if the officials don't call that, it's not. So he's got to be super careful with the ball. And the other thing that bothers me a little bit, we are rather gadgety. Okay. We made fun of Auburn for a long time for having all these gadgets. We got sort of gadgety now. Yep. And Oklahoma is the one defense, I think, that they don't put up with no gadgets. They're not going to fall for a lot of double reverse throwbacks. They're just not going to do it. So the best way to beat Oklahoma is probably go right at them. And I'm not sure we can do that. So I've said all that, and I'm still like, okay, I don't know where I want. I hadn't made my prediction in my mind yet before this. Right now, doing this podcast, I have not made my prediction. It's going to be a surprise to me when I say it later on in the podcast.
Well, then I'll be surprised as well. I have. And my prediction's based on this. It's Alabama not losing the turnover battle. Now that could be both teams turn it over once, both teams turn it over twice. That would be kind of what I would expect. I think both teams will turn it over, but I don't think Alabama will lose the turnover battle. I see Alabama's defense actually causing some turnovers, being a real huge point of emphasis this week for Kane Womack and his guys. I see Alabama's defense causing a couple of turnovers that will even things out, but even the score out. One thing's for sure, this is going to be a low-scoring game. These are 2 elite defenses and 2 offenses that struggle. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Low-scoring games are close. I think it's close in the 4th quarter. Alabama has been comfortable in 2 situations all year: close games in the 4th quarter and winning on the road. I don't think people have fully realized how impressive it's been that Alabama beat Georgia, Missouri, South Carolina, and Auburn all on the road, 4-0 on the road. They're comfortable on the road. This team is, and they're comfortable in close games. Therefore, I'm going to pick Alabama to win it late.
The one caveat to that, actually a few caveats. First of all, people who don't know what the SEC is and who poo-poo the SEC's dominance, like the SEC exposed Twitter account or something, will say, oh, yeah, big win over 5-7 Auburn. They didn't even go to a bowl game. Big win over South Carolina. They didn't go to a bowl game. Big win over Missouri. They turned out to not be so great. And then what was the other road game? What, Georgia. And then Georgia pimp slapped you the second time. I can see that, number one. And number two, I could see somebody going, well, the one game you weren't so great in the 4th quarter, guess which one it was? OU.
Yeah, sure.
So,
no, and that's fair.
Get those.
Fair. No, that is fair. But one difference though between when you said, "Oh, yeah, big win, Auburn's 5-7." Here's the thing about, and I couldn't scream this louder from the mountaintops. Here's the difference between a 5-7 SEC team like Auburn. Go look at the 5-7 teams in the ACC, the Big 12, and even the Big 10. Go look at their 5-7 teams. The SEC 5-7 team is chock full of NFL football players.
Yeah.
NFL football players. Yeah, Auburn's 5-7. Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton, Malcolm Simmons, Jay Crawford, Atkins, the linebacker.
Keldrick Faulk.
Yeah, Keldrick Faulk's going to be a first-round pick. Atkins might win the Butkus Award next year. I mean, there's a legitimate battle at quarterback with Ashton Daniels and Deuce Knight, and how excited fans are about both of them. Cobb, he's an SEC running back. I mean, that's the difference between a 5-7 SEC team and a 5-7 team in the ACC. Is the SEC team is chock full of NFL talent and tough to beat on the road. Period.
Yeah, and again, it is just different. And also, you look at in Auburn's case, I don't think they lost any games by double digits. So, I mean, they're pretty strong. So, you and I know the road wins are impressive on paper. If you don't understand SEC football, you will say not a big deal. That said, I think Kalen DeBoer has done a marvelous job on the road, and we're going to talk about some player predictions, and we're going to talk about the actual game predictions when we come back. Right now, though, I got to tell you all about another one of our fantastic sponsors, and if I can ever find out what it is, I'm going to tell you about it. It's Rocket Money. That's what it is. It's Rocket Money. That should be their new thing. Exactly. Jingle. Ever feel like your money just disappears each month? It happens fast. A few subscriptions there, impulse buy here, and suddenly the numbers in your bank account don't match the numbers in your head. Rocket Money helps you get clarity, track every dollar, and stay in control of your finances. Because managing your money shouldn't feel like a second job, Rocket Money does the heavy lifting for you so you can save more and stress less. Rocket Money finds the subscriptions you forgot you were paying for and helps you clean them up quickly. Man, I'm telling you, it did help me with that. I had a lot of subscriptions to crap I didn't know I had. Seeing all your spending on one dashboard makes it easier to understand where your money is going. Take control of your finances and cancel your unwanted subscriptions with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/lockedon, rocketmoney.com/lockedon, rocketmoney.com/lockedon. Okay, prediction time, Jimmy. It's just time to do this.
Alabama prediction or who wins the college football playoff? I'll go Georgia.
Man, I was going to say Georgia, and I thought you were going to go, oh, God, I can't believe you picked Georgia. I'll pick Georgia, too. I don't want to because I know there's some people listening to this going, why would y'all pick Georgia? You should pick Alabama. If Alabama wins this first game, I'm going to tell you something. I would change my prediction.
I'm not gonna. If Alabama beats Oklahoma, no, I'm not gonna believe that this Alabama team. And really, I'm not blaming anything other than I don't know that they're healthy enough to keep it together to win 4 games against this elite level of competition. So, you can call me a doubter or criticize me for it, but no, I am gonna pick Alabama to beat Oklahoma, 21-20 in a really close game that I think is going to come down the fourth quarter. I think Alabama scores in the fourth quarter, very possibly courtesy of an Oklahoma turnover. I don't know that Alabama's going to win the turnover battle. I just think they don't lose the turnover battle. That's the difference in the game. They handle the pressure okay. There's going to be a lot of ugly offense. Alabama had over 400 yards first time around. I predict Alabama will not rack up 400 yards of offense in this game, but they will rack up enough offense to win the game. A big play happens in the fourth quarter, probably off a turnover. Alabama wins 21-20, and how that next game against Indiana and Pasadena would be fun and a heck of a prize. If Alabama ends up short here, I certainly won't be surprised. Oklahoma has an elite defense. It is very difficult to beat an elite defense on the road.
I want to pick Alabama so badly. I do. I want to pick them so badly, but I keep thinking about Oklahoma's defense, and I keep thinking about our problems, and I keep thinking about how we don't have the type of offense to go right at them and beat them the way I think you beat this team. That said, I'm picking Alabama.
Oh, you pulled up Pat McAfee. That was kind of a McAfee type thing.
23-20, Alabama. I'm going to say this. I'm like you. I think the turnover battle is essentially even. I'm going to say both of them have a turnover. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to get more specific. Oklahoma's turnover is more crucial. Like Alabama has one, but Oklahoma's is like in a bigger moment. Yeah. I'm also going to make a couple other predictions. I've been doing this for a while this year. And I'm hedging my bets, either Lazier Brooks or Ryan Williams scores a touchdown in this game. One of those two scores a touchdown. We need it. We got to have it.
I think most of the touchdowns in the game will come via big play, and by big play, I don't mean like some deep pass, but I mean a, a play after the catch. I think Satania and Deion Burks for Oklahoma make plays after a catch that are responsible for some of their scores. And I'm with you. I think it's Ryan Williams and Latsier Brooks and Germie Bernard, each making one big play apiece that sets up. Maybe it doesn't put Alabama in the zone, but sets up scores for all three of Alabama's touchdowns. I think it's big plays. Neither team will be able to run the ball well at all, though both teams will try. But in the end, what works in terms of points is runs after the catch by receivers, both teams.
I'm going to change my prediction to 24-20 because it just dawned on me 23-20 means Connor Talty kicks 3 field goals. And as much as I'd love to tell you that's a feel-good story, I think Connor Talty kicks 1 field goal.
It's so funny you said that because my score early on was 23-21 Alabama, and I changed it for the same reason.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, 23-20, because it's like the same score as the first time, but flipped because Alabama doesn't turn the ball over. I was kind of my thinking is, well, Alabama's not going to turn it over like they did last time. So I think it'll be this similar game, but without Alabama's turnovers, 23-21. But I thought that has Talty making 3 field goals and Tate Sandell not making one at all. That just doesn't sound right to me. So I changed it to 21-20, which means Alabama scores 3 touchdowns and Tate Sandell makes a couple of kicks. That sounds right to me.
Let me tell you another thing that I think is very important. I think Alabama needs to score first. Oklahoma got out to a 10-0 lead, and things got a little tense and a little tight for the Tide, it felt like. Now, they did take the lead late in the game, but they didn't score a touchdown. And it felt like if they had scored a touchdown right there, you feel pretty good about Alabama's winning. But they kicked a field goal, and they did take the lead. It just wasn't great. It just didn't have the feeling of like we got this thing on lockdown. So I want Alabama to play from ahead instead of behind this time.
Yeah, Oklahoma, they're scary because if they have momentum, it's their pressures on defense. You can feel it kind of coming apart at the seams when they have momentum and then they're on defense, those pressures and like they're up 2 scores and then they sack Ty twice in a row. I mean, it's easy to kind of see that coming. I think, I've used the word poop storm on here before. We'll get with that. You have to survive the poop storm. It's coming. It's coming in this game when they have momentum and then they're making big plays on defense, sacking the quarterback or throwing you for a loss. You have to survive that stretch of the game and stay in it until you can get the car out of the ditch and back on the road.
I got to correct myself because it just dawned on me that, no, I don't think it was that we kicked a field goal. I think we missed a field goal. Alabama actually took the lead on a touchdown. And I just misremembered. And if I knew how to edit this, I would edit it. And I'm sorry that I don't. But this is,
And you're thinking on the right when you say, what happens if Bama loses?
Well, here's what I meant by that. I'm glad you pointed that out because I was about to forget it. Here's what I meant. You and I are on a text chain with a bunch of friends, and somebody sent a video of some national talking head.
Yeah, Tom Fornelli.
I mean, look, it my way sounded better. Like I'm trying to belittle him. Let me belittle him.
Okay, you didn't want his real name out there or give him any credit for this.
Yeah, there we go. I would edit that, but I don't know how. So he said, "Hey, look, if Alabama loses, Kalen DeBoer comes in the next season on the hottest of hot seats." Man. And I know some of y'all listening may even agree with that. I just personally don't, because a couple of reasons. First of all, we're bringing in a hell of a recruiting class.
Yeah.
And I know next year's schedule is tough, but I have learned to embrace the 10-2 mark. That's where we need to be. And if we do that consistently, we'll be in the playoffs. And secondly, if you do believe Kalen DeBoer is on the hot seat, if you do believe next year, should we lose to Oklahoma, Kalen DeBoer, his seat is scorching. Okay, fine. Who do you want to get?
Yeah.
Who do you want to get?
That's a great question.
Michigan's trying to get our guy.
Yeah. That's the dumb thing about the Fornelli thing is, wait a minute. I thought you national media guys were trying to say Michigan is pulling out all the stops to hire him. And at the same time, you're saying, yeah, but DeBoer stinks and he's going to lose his job. That's so dumb. But I will say this: I think there's a difference between being on the administration's hot seat and being on the fans' hot seat. I don't believe that a loss to Oklahoma in any way puts DeBoer's job in danger as far as the University of Alabama, the president, and the athletic department is concerned. I don't believe that at all. But I do believe there will be a percentage of fans who sort of give up on DeBoer for losing to Oklahoma and having the fourth loss this season, losing to Oklahoma 3 times in 13 months. A percentage of fans will be, quote, done with DeBoer, but that will mean very little unless more bad stuff happens
Yeah.
next fall. However that's defined. By more bad stuff, I mean something truly bad, not making the playoff and then losing at some point in the playoff. I'm talking about not making the playoff or losing 4 or 5 regular season games. That would be the game changer, not the loss to Oklahoma. So things could add up. But in terms of would DeBoer be on the hot seat at Alabama with a loss to Oklahoma, I absolutely don't believe that. It'll just be some fans will feel that way.
By the way, I watched a little bit of that South Florida Old Dominion game yesterday. I'm kind of pissed off we canceled that series. South Florida looked like cheeks. I mean, they were terrible. Microwave dookie.
Here's a good bet. I mean, here's the thing about coaching changes. When a good coach leaves, math, history, and logic suggest the next guy won't be as good.
That's so
I mean, there's exceptions to every rule. And somebody out there is naming 5 exceptions right now. Listen to this. But the rule is, I mean, when Bryant left, Alabama wasn't going to win as much. When Saban left, Alabama wasn't going to win as much. But when Dubose left, maybe you're going to win more. I mean, that's, things tend to sort of.
Even though we didn't.
Well, a little bit.
We did a little bit.
Fran won 10 games. And,
yeah, that's true.
Fran won more in year 1, and then he won more in year 1. We won more in 01 than we did in 2000. Then we won more in 02 than we did. But then it went, Fran then it went
well, that's
south.
true. Also, like, as Franchione was a pretty good coach. I know Alabama fans hate to admit that.
Yeah,
he's probably even more so than Dubose and Shula now. Fran may be my most hated Alabama coach of all time.
Hated? Well,
I can't stand him. I mean, the way he handled everything was so Brian Kelly-esque. I mean, in hindsight, he was Brian Kelly before Brian Kelly.
I've always felt that you're saying that. I've said that before. That they do remind me of one another a little bit. I'll just say this: Brian Kelly, over the long term, has been far more successful over the long haul. Although Fran was successful in his time before it sort of all fell apart for him at A&M. But I think he did a good job here. But I was upset when he left. Hey, and for all this, Ole Miss, they should let him coach the team. They should let him coach the team after he was leaving for. Hey, Alabama, and the way that the Fran thing was handled, I know this. I mean, Fran was told when he was like, "Hey, I'm going to go talk to A&M. If you get on that plane, don't have a return ticket." I mean, that was Alabama, and that should have been. That was the right attitude to have at Alabama, and the right attitude for Ole Miss to have, in my opinion, is, hey, if this is the loyalty you're showing us, then when you're gone, you're gone. And I think Alabama handled that part of it great.
Hey, listen, everybody go check out the Everydayer Club one more time. I'll put it on the crawler here. That's what we call it in the business. LockedOnBama.com/Everydayer Club. It's $5 a month, $50 for a year. I mean, and it's really cool, ad-free podcast, and also a Discord message board where Jimmy and I participate a lot, and it's great. And you got a lot of like-minded people.
To the Discord page right now, right when we're recording. I'm going downstairs, going right to the Discord page.
I will be at the game, so my take is right after the game. My buddy and I have to drive back to OKC. Hopefully, Jimmy will still be up, and we can do a live reaction show. That's the plan. Win, lose, or draw. I don't think there'll be a draw, but win or lose, Jimmy and I will try and do a live reaction show because I'll leave out first thing the next morning. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little nervous, but I can't wait, and I hope to see some of you guys out there. And until next time, roll tide, everybody.
Roll Tide.